Welcome to Hitman Boxing. You already know what time it is. We talking Jermal Charlo. We talking Danny Jacobs. Danny, the cop Jacobs, because he rode with police, so that makes him police. Now, Danny Jacobs ran over to HBO shortly after Al Haymon got him a fight with Gennady Golovkin. Now, in this fight with Gennady Golovkin, he took a loss, unanimous decision loss. He got dropped in the fight. Some people will argue that Danny Jacobs won that fight, but you know what? It don't matter. Because at the end of the day, he lost the fight on paper, and he got another L on his record. Because keep in mind, Danny Jacobs got 2 L's under his belt. He got 2 of them. You know? If I recall, he got knocked out, didn't he? He got knocked out back in 2010. And you might say, oh, he's gotten a lot better since then. Yeah, of course he has. But that chin ain't gotten any better. So you really think that Jermal Charlo is running from Danny Jacobs, a guy who ain't been the same since he lost to Triple G? He fought a guy in Luis Arias, unanimous decision, a guy who was a prospect, right? And then you go life or death with Saluki recently. Wasn't an impressive. Them 2 wins weren't impressive, dog. They weren't impressive ones at all. And you talking about you about to clean out 160. How you going to clean out 160 when you already lost to the man at 160? And, you know, talking about you wouldn't have faced him in a rematch on Cinco de Mayo because you ain't have enough time. But didn't you already fight him? So you kind of already know what to expect, right? That's all I'm saying. But y'all say Jermal Charlo's afraid to fight Danny Jacobs, a guy with 2 losses on his record, a guy who got a suspect chin, a guy who been dropped, who been knocked out already. Don't add up to me. Oh, okay. You guys want to go back to the time when he confronted Jermal Charlo in the back of the arena, right? Danny Jacobs had at least 15 police officers with him, didn't he? Y'all got to realize, and Jermal already said this, Charlo already said this, he's a whole other type of cancer for Danny Jacobs, all right? Danny Jacobs don't want that work, man. That's why he hide. That's why he went over to HBO. He went over to hide on HBO and fight these bums. No intentions of rematching Triple G. No intentions of fighting Jermal Charlo. He has no intentions of doing that. His promoter didn't want that fight last November. He didn't want that fight for him. You know why? Because he needs a return on his investment. This is why he fought Luis Arias. This is why he fought a Selecki. And keep in mind, he didn't look the same in either of those fights. So what's next for Danny Jacobs? They don't got enough money to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Why don't you fight Demetrius Andrade? You see, the thing is, Jermal Charlo versus Danny Jacobs is a good fight. I would pick Jermal Charlo to knock Danny Jacobs out. All right? Y'all need to realize this is a changing of the guard right now. All right? You got to realize that the Charlo brothers are ushering in that change. And y'all don't like them because they're vocal and they're rude, disrespectful. I like that sort of thing. That helps me rally behind a fighter when I see that a fighter has personality. You know, I don't like all that humbleness, all right? Danny Jacobs is a fake tough guy, all right? So when he get in that ring, if he ever decides to get in that ring with Charlo, he's going to get knocked out, all right? I'm just putting that out there right now. And you can call me a prophet, all right? Hitman, the prophet. I prophesized David Haye getting knocked out by Tony Belland, and that's what happened. I prophesized Kell Brook getting stopped by Errol Spence Jr. And speaking of Kell Brook, since you want to bring up Kell Brook, Jermal Charlo is the champion. He's the WBC champion. Kell Brook has a fake version of that belt. He's not the real champion. And to be honest with you, Kell Brook says he wants to be a champion at 154, right? Well, hate to break it to you, but you've got a guy in Jared Swift Hurd and Jermal Charlo who are looking to reign supreme in that division. Kell Brook is damaged goods as well. Just like Danny Jacobs, they're both damaged goods. You know, however you want to look at it, they're both damaged goods. Kell Brook is never going to fight Jermal Charlo. He doesn't want those problems. First of all, Kell Brook's not even a legit 154 pounder. I realize he can't make weight at 147, but he's not a true 154 pounder. His arms is too short, B. Like, his arms is too short. He don't got the reach. He don't got the height. He does have the size, though. Pause. He's a big dude, right? So maybe he does fare well against opponents like the last guy he fought that he knocked out. But, you know, realistically, who is Kell Brook beating at 154 that matters? In the top 10, who's he beating? He's not beating any of those guys. He's not beating any of the champions. And you know Kell Brook's not beating Jermal Charlo, man. That's not going to happen. Let's just stop with the ducking. Jermal Charlo, they're not ducking nobody. It's Lions only. You seen the hashtag. We riding with the Charlo brothers until the end of time. There's a few boxes that we don't bet against in boxing here at Hitman Boxing. We don't bet against Lomachenko. We don't bet against the Charlo brothers. That's what we don't do over here. Those are the three names that we don't bet against. You know, if we want guaranteed money, on the ticket we put Jermal Charlo, and we put Vasyl Lomachenko down because they're not finna lose. All right, but let's get back to the police officer, Danny Jacobs. All right, Danny Jacobs ain't even the king of Brooklyn. He's not the king of New York. He already lost. He already lost to Triple G. How you gonna clean out 160? You already lost to the dude that's the top dude at 160. Like, it's debatable whether or not you could even beat Billy Joe Saunders, and you get knocked out by Jermal Charlo. So, you know, these dudes want to bring up evidence here and there. Yeah, there's no evidence, man. Look, Jermal Charlo is in a position where he's the mandatory challenger for Triple G. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's where the problem lies. Y'all are defending Triple G. Y'all don't want Triple G to fight Jermal Charlo, but you prefer to have Jermal Charlo run the gauntlet before he gets to Triple G. It makes no difference. You know, to be honest, it makes no difference to me, but does it make sense for him to fight Danny Jacobs when he's literally in a position, a mandatory position, to fight Triple G? This is the same stuff I was telling y'all with Errol Spence, man. Like, y'all just defending Triple G. You don't want Triple G to get tuned up by Charlo. And whether or not Charlo beats him or not is debatable, of course. It's a close fight, but y'all don't want to see Triple G get tuned up. Y'all don't want to see that. So you throw Danny Jacobs, and y'all, I should have known y'all was going to deflect with Danny Jacobs months and months ago. Oh, what about Danny Jacobs versus Jermal Charlo? Yep, deflecting. And y'all could talk about Jermal Charlo's opponents, his last couple of opponents, Santino, Pee Wee Herman, and the dude his legs didn't bend at the knee. Okay? We could talk about them dudes. All right? We could talk about them. No, they weren't the best, but this is who the WBC put in front of him. You know, you can only fight who they put in front of you. And if the WBC wants to give them a mandatory spot for that belt, for that green belt, the only belt that matters, for the most part, unless you're a heavyweight champion, the only belt that matters is that green belt. So Jermal needs to get Triple G before he gets Danny Jacobs in the ring, all right? Danny Jacobs need to go, you know, if his promoter's so good, he should be fighting some bigger names, right? You say he ain't got no M's, right? He ain't making millions, so why are you trying to fight him anyway? You know, y'all might say I'm trying to deflect, but no, I'm not deflecting. All right, I'm just looking out for Danny Jacobs' health. All right, he's already had a health scare in the past. We don't need Danny Jacobs getting tuned up by Jermal Charlo. You know, again, drop a comment, like the video, subscribe. You know, Kell Brook is a bum. Danny Jacobs is a glorified police officer. All right, you know. I'm sure he's at the 32nd precinct somewhere in New York. Trust me, I got footage of him walking in and out of police stations, giving statements. Don't make me put it out. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.
Underrated, you niggas niggas steady ignoring greatness. A pallbearer what you need when I come undertake it. This hostile takeover by the chill hover. I got the blueprints, I really do this, so move on over. Stay in your lane, nigga, stay in your lane. You steady running at the guns, but fucking suck at the game. Ain't it a shame? It really is. My words evoke fear. I teach you lessons that'll have you breaking down in tears. Call me Joe Clark with a baseball bat, chaining up the doors and spelling all these niggas from rap. Cause they kill your brain cells, son. How don't you see it? They steady brainwashing you and then repeating, but 'tis the season for chill wage. I bring about change, but not Obama, cause this nation I will never claim. I got my sights aimed at the top spot on the chop block.